Hey guys, welcome to Manifesting Better. I'm back with another video and another topic that needs to be addressed. I also have an Instagram account, the link for that is in the description box below. Coaching is also available, the link for that too is in the description box below.
Hey guys, hope you're well. So in this video, I want to talk about what to do if you have a very difficult time dealing with the circumstances in the physical world, in the 3D, like in your current reality, whatever you want to call it. Now I'm going to be sharing a lot of points in this video. You have to understand that no matter where you are in whatever circumstances you are manifesting it from, there is always some way out, right? And we will be talking about a few points that you can implement through which you will be able to deal with these circumstances better. Now, first thing, it's important to understand that no matter what I tell you, if circumstances are difficult and you feel bad, that's totally fine. Manifestation in no way, shape, or form is suppression of emotions, right? Of course, sometimes when we listen to the advice, ignore the 3D, it can be misinterpreted that, oh, ignore your emotions. That isn't what it means. So it's totally fine to feel your feelings. You are a human being, you are supposed to feel your feelings. So let's get into it and let's understand all these points step by step. The first thing to understand while you're dealing with circumstances is that it's okay. It's like whoever has manifested anything in their life. And now I'm not talking about people who are consciously manifesting. I think they are more hopeful, right? But even people who have had circumstances in their life where they unconsciously got out of it through changing themselves through some way, shape, or form, they have dealt with circumstances. So if you are under circumstances, that doesn't mean that your manifestations are not possible, or that just doesn't really mean that your life cannot change. Your life can change, and it will eventually, just as when you were before, maybe you had better circumstances, or maybe you had even worse. If it can get better from there, or it can get worse, it can get better again too, right? Life is not linear. It goes back and down and back and down. The only thing that stays constant is change and your ability to respond to circumstances, your character, the new self-concept that you're building. Things around you will affect your self-concept. Of course, if I am someone who would have been born in a very, very rich family, I might not have issues in relation to money when I was a teenager, right? And that might have changed my whole outlook on life. But I did, and I still got out of it. Believe me, I was in a way worse dump than you are, right? I cannot even explain. Like, I'm not comparing circumstances, but I was one messed up kid. And if I can get out of that, you can too. So it's okay that you have circumstances. People around you have circumstances too. And I do talk a lot about self-validating, but I'm going to validate you here that your circumstances might be unique, but they are not something that other people don't have. So this feeling of knowing that, yeah, circumstances it's something that everyone has. It's something that is very important. Second, acceptance. Now, when I say acceptance of circumstances, I don't wish to say and wish to tell you that you need to accept them as final. Every circumstance can look final, just as things before looked final and they changed. This will change too. Eventually, the circle of life will fulfill itself and this will change too. Acceptance, what that means is accepting that in this current moment, things look like that. A lot of times, what happens is we start to run away from circumstances. Instead of accepting that, oh, it looks like this right now, we try to pretend it doesn't. What that does is it can create a feeling of running away, and the state of being behind it is lack because you're not facing what is in front of you. Now, it might be very difficult to face what is in front of you, but that might just teach you something what you need to learn to surpass this circumstance. I remember a few years back, a long time back, I had this girl that I was dating and we broke up. I did not know about manifestation at that time. But now, when in hindsight, as Steve Jobs said, that you can only connect the dots looking back. In hindsight, I can understand why that had to happen, why that was necessary, why those circumstances were necessary, because it shaped my life in a particular way and I wouldn't trade it for anything. So acceptance is something that is very important. Now, there is a difference between acceptance and dwelling. I will give the difference to you in an example. I was talking to one of my clients who has been in this journey, and she's facing some difficult circumstances, and her circumstances were not instantly changing. And I told her that you can accept these circumstances. And she said that, hey Karan, I am accepting these circumstances, but they're just getting worse. And like, I am accepting this feeling, but it still doesn't go away. I will give you a difference. So what was happening was that she was in a workplace which she wasn't liking, right? And she was starting her routines, but after every 5 to 10 days she was starting to react, because she was questioning herself, what am I doing wrong? I manifest better in other areas, like why is this so stuck? First thing is, it's okay to have that doubt, right? So, oh, my things are not changing. That's fine, just a normal doubt. You don't have to act on it. The second question comes, maybe I should do something more. This is where the issues start, because what happens is, acceptance is just to accept, right? If I'm feeling bad, I'm accepting that I'm feeling bad. I'm not pretending to accept it so that it goes away. I am accepting that feeling bad is something that is right now happening. Can you expect a life without ever feeling bad? No. This is one of those times where you are feeling bad. Completely normal. But assigning a meaning to it and allowing that mental dwelling to come in because you're assigning a meaning to it is where it gets toxic. This is where you create a circumstance, that is where negative spirals happen. So acceptance and dwelling are two different things. Acceptance is fine, and accept to accept, not to try to change it. And it can feel slightly paradoxical, but that is when it actually changes. Don't accept just to pretend so that it can change, and don't dwell. There is a difference between the two. Next thing, for some people, and I think vast majority of people will connect to this, living in the end for them is the state of knowing I can change things in my life. When we are talking about living in the end, there is a general state of feeling that things around me can change no matter how difficult I can look at it. And then there are going to be bouts in your day where you would be feeling slightly like in the way that, oh, you know what, I'm together with this person, or I have got the job. You cannot stick to that forever. As Neville Goddard said, that you keep shifting states throughout the day. So if you are shifting that state throughout the day, it's completely normal, right? The general knowing that things can change for me, and that I have the power to change it, and telling yourself that I have the power to change it, is something crucial, because that is something you can maintain throughout the day. That is an attitude towards life which can be stuck to. Coming to the next part, stop fighting it. Stop fighting your circumstances. That doesn't mean that you cannot take action in terms of trying to change it. Now, I'm not talking about people who are manifesting a specific person, chasing them and calling that an action, inspired action, whatever it is. That's a different topic for a different video. But I'm talking about if you are stuck. Let's say I'm manifesting money and I don't have any right now. And my dream job is to be a singer, but at this moment I have to work in some other place, or I have to get a corporate job or something. Do it. In this moment, you can still try to make your life better. That doesn't mean that you cannot be where you want to be. It just means stop fighting your circumstances. Stop fighting the change. Allow things to work out on the way that they have to. And it again goes back to the acceptance part, that the more you can accept, the more you would stop fighting. Because then it would be an opportunity, not a circumstance or a tragedy. The next thing, escapism. This happens a lot with the feeling part. That I am feeling bad, or I'm feeling unsatisfied, or I'm feeling slightly down or triggered. I'm just going to pretend, I'm just going to put a blanket over it, and I'm just going to pretend that I'm not feeling bad at all. Unfortunately, that won't work. I'm sorry that I am being very honest. Where do you think that feeling is going? That is being gathered inside of you and is creating unconscious beliefs and background triggers in you. I talked about this in one of my videos, I will link it down below, foreground and background triggers, where you can listen to that and connect to it. But where is that going? It's going in you. You are creating more of that now, which is something we have to avoid. So facing your feelings, feeling your feelings doesn't mean you're going to manifest them, unless and until you keep acting on them, keep dwelling on them. So feeling is a feeling. A negative connotation is something I provide to it. It doesn't really have to be negative. Something is just something, right? The next thing, try to make the best of it. Now, I don't mean that you have to love your circumstances and that your current world. You just have to accept the fact that, let's say I'm manifesting a specific person and I am not in a relationship right now. It sucks. I would like to go on dates. I would like to meet people. I would like to be intimate with my specific partner, whatever it is. I hate it. I am getting pressure from my family, from the society, whatever it is. Trying to make the best of it doesn't mean that all these things won't exist. It just means that from this time till the time that you actually do get into a relationship or a marriage, it's still time passing by, that is your life passing by. It's not going to come back again. Making the best of the current moment doesn't mean you have to be super happy. It just means with whatever tools that I have right now, whatever the players in the chess game that I have right now, I will make the best move possible. It might not be the best move possible with more and better circumstances. It might not be the best move possible tomorrow. It just has to be the best move possible today. So for example, let's say I want to eat out and I don't have the money yet, right? Trying to make the best of it would be, instead of saying, oh, I just cannot do it, like it happens all the time, except that, yeah, I don't have it right now, but that doesn't mean that I cannot be optimistic towards the fact that I will get it later. I can still make a good meal, enjoy it, and still make the best of the day today. These are the days that you will look back to and you will laugh about them when you will have what you want. It's very important to accept it. Next thing, start small. If your circumstances feel too difficult, start small. Don't go directly to the end. Start with the mere basics of just trying to build your life back together. I was talking to this client and she mentioned that while manifesting my SP, I have developed severe issues that I am just not able to focus on anything else. I am in consistent limerence towards this, consistent obsession towards this, and I consistently keep thinking about this to this level that I had to leave my job. My first advice to her was start small. Start by building a life for yourself first. Start by getting into places where you can get your job, where you can focus on the things that you want, where you can have a small social life. Not because these things are like you don't want your person or you don't want a relationship, but just because what good would that relationship do to you if it comes to you today and you are in this mental state and you aren't able to handle it? If this person texts you back instantly, what good is it going to do to you if you are again and again just going to keep taking that as your sense of security? Nothing. So starting small is going to be absolutely crucial for people who feel that their circumstances are very difficult. And the last thing is something that I would just tell you, and this is something that if you look back at life, you will understand. No feeling is permanent. None. Any feeling that you have ever had in your life has not been permanent. Do you remember one time that you were happy? Yes. Did it last? No. Do you remember one time when you were triggered? Did it last? No. Do you remember one time that you were angry or sad? Did it last? No. Eventually you come back to your neutral, right? All feelings are temporary. All circumstances are temporary. Just telling that to yourself can sometimes be the most liberating thing that you can do for yourself in that moment. I hope this video helps you, and just please know that you're not alone. There is always help. There is free content out there. There are paid consultations that like you can get help. And please know that if someone else can get what they want, you can too. There is no reason that you cannot. You have the same mind as they do. They might be filled with different pieces of content and different trauma, but that doesn't mean that there isn't a way around it. You just have to focus on finding it and implementing it. I hope it helps, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Click the like button if you liked the video. Subscribe and turn the notifications on for more such content. Comment down your video suggestions, and I will see you guys in the next one.